Hi, passionate Rangers FC fans. Welcome to Rangers Update, your dedicated source for all things Rangers. Before we dive in, we want to express our gratitude for your unwavering support. If you bleed blue, don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button, and let's strengthen our community. Now, let's get into the latest updates. A hearty welcome to our new followers. Your backing means the world to us. WATP, let's get to the news. The atmosphere around Ibrox Stadium has become increasingly tense as speculation grows louder regarding the future of Rangers manager Russell Martin, whose tenure has come under intense scrutiny in recent weeks. Fans, once supportive and hopeful, are now voicing their frustration across social media platforms, forums, and outside the stadium, demanding a change that they believe is necessary to restore pride and stability to the club. The calls for Martin's departure are not isolated incidents. They are part of a growing chorus of dissatisfaction that has been simmering beneath the surface, triggered by inconsistent performances on the pitch and a perceived lack of tactical clarity. Supporters point to matches where the team has struggled to impose its style, allowing opponents to dominate crucial moments, and these instances have become rallying points for those advocating for a managerial shakeup. The pressure on Martin is compounded by the media, which has eagerly amplified the sentiments of fans, dissecting every decision, formation, and substitution with a magnifying glass, adding fuel to a fire that seems to have ignited beyond control. Inside the club, whispers of unrest and debate over the manager's future are growing, suggesting that board members may be closely monitoring fan sentiment and assessing whether a change is inevitable or can still be avoided with a string of positive results. Observers note that the demands of Rangers supporters have become more pointed, focusing on the need for leadership capable of inspiring confidence and consistency. Martin, who took over with high expectations and promises of progressive football, is now facing the harsh realities of the Scottish Premiership and European competitions, where every misstep is scrutinized and magnified. Critics argue that despite moments of promise, the team's overall trajectory under Martin has been underwhelming, failing to translate potential into tangible results, and leaving supporters anxious about the club's ambitions both domestically and abroad. The frustration is often voiced in passionate chants and banners at matches, reflecting a growing impatience and a sense that the club cannot afford prolonged periods of uncertainty. Behind the scenes, players and staff are reportedly feeling the weight of the scrutiny, with sources suggesting that morale may be affected by the public outcry and ongoing speculation regarding managerial stability. The narrative surrounding Martin's future has become a central storyline in Scottish football, with journalists, pundits, and fans alike dissecting the implications of potential changes, considering how a shift in leadership might alter the club's strategies, recruitment policies, and overall culture. Each discussion, analysis, and debate contributes to an atmosphere thick with expectation, tension, and speculation, creating a situation where every decision is magnified, and the margin for error has never felt smaller. Compounding the situation is the timing of fixtures and the intensity of competitions, which leaves little room for recovery from poor performances. The upcoming matches are being scrutinized not just for results, but for the manner in which the team competes, with supporters watching closely to assess whether Martin's strategies are effective or simply faltering under pressure. This heightened focus amplifies every error, missed opportunity, and tactical miscalculation, reinforcing the narrative that change might be necessary to salvage the season and reassert Rangers' dominance. In conversations among fans, the discussion often turns to potential replacements, ranging from experienced managers with proven track records to younger, ambitious coaches who could bring fresh ideas and energy to the squad. Such speculation feeds the rumor mill, creating a sense of anticipation and urgency, and casting every future fixture as a potential turning point for Martin's tenure. The story has become a living entity, evolving with every match report, press conference, and social media post, keeping supporters on edge and perpetuating a climate of uncertainty. What began as murmurs of concern has now morphed into a near-constant dialogue about leadership, identity, and ambition, highlighting how deeply intertwined the fortunes of a club are with the perceived competency of its manager. Analysts suggest that part of the challenge for Martin has been navigating the balance between long-term development and immediate results, a delicate act that few managers manage to perfect under constant scrutiny. Fans argue that while progress in certain areas is evident, The inconsistency in performances and perceived lack of adaptation during crucial moments undermines confidence in the manager's vision. The media has been quick to highlight statistical trends, tactical patterns, and player utilization, often framing narratives that may or may not accurately reflect the full picture but undeniably influence public opinion. Every interview, substitution, and strategic tweak is now dissected through a lens of suspicion, contributing to an environment where pressure builds exponentially. Supporters' impatience is compounded by comparisons to rival clubs, where managerial decisions and squad cohesion are often portrayed as sharper or more decisive. These comparisons, fair or not, intensify scrutiny and create benchmarks against which Martin's decisions are continuously measured. The rumors surrounding potential departures or managerial changes gain strength with each passing week, illustrating how narrative and perception can become as influential as on-pitch results in shaping a manager's future, particularly at a club as high-profile and passionately followed as Rangers. The fanbase's calls for action are not merely about reactionary disappointment, but are tied to a deep-seated belief in the club's potential and legacy. Rangers supporters, renowned for their loyalty and passion, feel a sense of responsibility to ensure the club's trajectory aligns with ambition and historical significance. The notion that the current managerial situation may hinder progress fuels discussions across every platform imaginable, from matchday conversations to national media outlets, creating a feedback loop where speculation and sentiment feed off each other. Social media has accelerated the spread of opinions, memes, and hot takes, often amplifying dissent and shaping the public's perception of Martin's capabilities and decisions. Every tweet, post, and discussion contributes to a collective pressure that is increasingly difficult to ignore, effectively turning the managerial position into a subject of constant debate and analysis. In this charged environment, even minor incidents or unexpected results are magnified, feeding narratives that support calls for decisive action from the club's leadership. The interplay of expectation, frustration, and hope creates a scenario where rumors flourish, decisions are scrutinized, and the line between speculation and reality blurs, keeping everyone engaged in a story that is as much about culture and identity as it is about football strategy. Insiders hint that the board is acutely aware of the mounting pressure, and while official statements remain measured and cautious, it is evident that fan sentiment is impossible to ignore. The conversation about Martin's future is no longer confined to casual chatter or isolated articles. It permeates every corner of the Scottish football landscape, from pundit debates on television to podcasts dissecting every tactical nuance. The challenge for Martin is navigating not just the opposition on the pitch, but the relentless wave of scrutiny, expectation, and speculation that now defines his tenure. Supporters' voices, amplified through digital channels and stadium presence, create a palpable energy that shapes narratives and influences the climate around the club. As matches approach and tensions rise, the rumor mill continues to churn, with every result potentially tipping the scales in favor of continued support or accelerated calls for change. The unfolding drama serves as a reminder of how intertwined football, identity, and expectation are, and how quickly managerial positions can transform from stability to uncertainty under the pressure of collective anticipation. In this charged atmosphere, every word, gesture, and decision is weighed, examined, and interpreted, leaving Russell Martin at the center of a storm whose intensity seems only set to grow in the weeks to come. The uncertainty surrounding Russell Martin's position has created an environment where speculation thrives and narratives evolve almost daily, leaving supporters, pundits, and club insiders constantly reassessing the situation. Every match result, every tactical adjustment, and every comment from the manager is examined not merely for its immediate effect, but for its broader implications on his long-term tenure. Rumors of possible replacements circulate with increasing frequency, fueled by whispers in the media and fan discussions online, where suggestions range from seasoned managers with established reputations to up-and-coming coaches who could inject fresh energy and ideas into the squad. Analysts emphasize that the board faces a complex decision, balancing loyalty and investment in Martin's project against the growing chorus of calls for change. The intensity of scrutiny is magnified by Rangers' storied history, where expectations are historically high and patience is often limited when results falter. Within this charged atmosphere, the narrative surrounding Martin has become as much about perception as performance, with speculation feeding speculation, creating a cycle where every piece of information, confirmed or not, carries the potential to reshape public opinion and influence the trajectory of the club's decision-making process in ways that are difficult to predict. Supporters have become increasingly vocal in their criticisms, framing Martin's perceived shortcomings in the context of Rangers' ambitions and historical dominance. Social media platforms act as amplifiers for these sentiments, transforming individual frustrations into collective pressure that is impossible for the club to ignore. Every tactical error or unexpected defeat is dissected in real time, with fans and commentators alike debating whether Martin's strategies reflect adaptability or rigidity under pressure. Rumors of boardroom discussions have only intensified this atmosphere, suggesting that internal evaluations of the manager's performance are occurring concurrently with the public's vocal demands for change. Pundits speculate on potential scenarios, ranging from a mid-season managerial replacement to a more gradual restructuring of the club's leadership, each narrative adding fuel to the rumor mill. The situation has created a heightened sense of urgency around upcoming fixtures, with supporters framing them not merely as games, but as potential turning points that could determine Martin's future. The tension is palpable as the club navigates a landscape where historical prestige, current performance, and fan expectation collide, forming a perfect storm of speculation, uncertainty, and relentless pressure that leaves every decision and result under microscopic scrutiny. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. Every gesture, interview, and squad announcement from Russell Martin is now filtered through a lens of intense scrutiny, and even well-intentioned comments can be reframed as evidence of instability or misjudgment. Analysts dissect formations, substitutions, and player utilization with a fervor that borders on obsession, feeding narratives that question his tactical acumen and decision-making processes. Meanwhile, supporters continue to mobilize, using chants, banners, and online campaigns to amplify their calls for change, reinforcing the perception that the manager's position is precarious and that the club's legacy hangs in the balance. The board's responses remain cautious and measured, aimed at calming the waters without escalating tension, but insiders hint that internal debates are vigorous, reflecting differing opinions about whether patience is warranted or decisive action is required. The rumor mill, meanwhile, thrives on ambiguity, with each speculative report creating ripples that reverberate across forums, social media, and media outlets, sustaining a climate where uncertainty is the prevailing narrative. In such an environment, every performance, every interview, and every tactical choice becomes a potential catalyst for speculation, further entwining Martin's personal fortunes with the club's broader identity, aspirations, and the passionate voices of its supporters, whose collective impatience drives the story forward relentlessly. Tension has also manifested in player performances, as the squad navigates the pressures of high expectations and public scrutiny. Observers note that morale and confidence can be subtly affected when speculation about leadership becomes pervasive, influencing on-pitch cohesion and consistency. Rumors of discord within the squad, whether true or exaggerated, amplify the narrative that managerial stability is in jeopardy and that urgent solutions are required to prevent further erosion of confidence. The media, always eager to capitalize on uncertainty, highlights every nuanced interaction, every tactical adjustment, and every comment as potential evidence of instability, which fans then consume, debate, and propagate, creating a self-perpetuating cycle of scrutiny and anticipation. Each fixture becomes a lens through which Martin's competence is evaluated, magnifying both successes and failures in ways that would not occur under calmer circumstances. The interplay of internal dynamics, fan expectations, and external commentary makes it difficult to disentangle performance from perception, further fueling speculation and enhancing the drama that surrounds the manager's position. As such, Martin's role has transcended tactical decisions, becoming emblematic of the broader question of leadership, identity, and ambition at one of Scotland's most historic football clubs, where patience is scarce and pressure is relentless. Amidst the swirling speculation, proposed alternatives to Martin's leadership continue to emerge, ranging from established figures with extensive managerial experience to ambitious younger coaches, capable of transforming the squad's dynamics. These discussions, while largely theoretical, gain momentum in fan forums and media commentary, reinforcing the narrative that change may be imminent and creating a sense of urgency that colors every match and tactical choice. Supporters frame these hypothetical replacements not merely as options, but as solutions to perceived stagnation, suggesting that fresh ideas and energy could restore the club's momentum and reputation. The continuous flow of rumors also exerts subtle pressure on the board, forcing decision-makers to weigh the potential benefits of maintaining stability against the demands of an increasingly impatient and vocal fanbase. Pundits dissect every possible scenario, creating layered narratives where managerial competence, squad morale, historical expectations, and future ambitions intersect, each factor influencing the others in a complex web of speculation. Within this environment, the manager's personal credibility is entwined with the club's collective identity, and every statement, action, and result is interpreted in light of ongoing debates, magnifying the impact of even minor developments and ensuring that the story of Russell Martin's tenure remains a topic of relentless discussion and intrigue across Scotland. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.